What's up, MB fam? And welcome to my first edition of Random Sports Review. Today is a real sensitive topic, mostly because it involves everything that women in pro sports have done physically, mentally, all of the above. So to every good there is bad. To every evil good there is evil. To every up there is down. And we're gonna talk a little bit about both. So without further ado, let's get the music going and let's get it. So once again, I'd like to apologize for my lighting. So if I look kind of dark, or half of my face looks dark, it's because there's literally one bulb in my room. So that's what that is. Anyway, today's topic of discussion is, are women in sports getting equal treatment? And I say that because 40% of women in the sports industry face gender discrimination. And Megan Rapinoe, and if you know Megan Rapinoe, she talks about that and several other things. And if you're not familiar with Megan Rapinoe, she is a well-known soccer star throughout here and just the world in general. And basically, she talks about how women are not getting pretty much everything that men in sports have been getting for decades. I have a little clip that I want to share from Megan and it's not a video clip, it's just a little bit sound clip that I want to share from Megan. And hopefully you can hear it. That kind of explains the details of why women are and aren't, well, basically why they aren't getting what they should have been getting decades ago. Like Candace Parker, she's been in the league for God knows how long. Serena Williams, she's been playing and still not getting as much as she should. And so on and so forth. There's a number of women who've been playing for a while and still haven't been getting treatment that they should have been gotten a long time ago. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play this so you can get the example that of what kind of goes on behind closed doors, but you kind of never see it with your own eyes. I'm sorry, my throat it's kind of stuffy today. Yeah, this kind of stuff we say.
We've filled stadiums, we've broken viewing records, and yet, despite all of this, we're still paid less than our male counterparts.
Megan Rapinoe, star of the team, speaking to Congress on equal pay day.
If it can happen to me, with the brightest light shining on us at all times, it can, and it does, happen to every person who is marginalized by gender.
In the U.S., women on average make 82 cents to every dollar paid to white men. For black women, it's 63 cents. For Latinas, it's 55. U.S. women's soccer sued the U.S. Soccer Federation for equal pay and equal treatment in 2019. They now get better hotels and flights, but a judge dismissed their claim for equal pay. The team is appealing. The Soccer Federation says it's still open to further negotiation.
Did you expect it to become this kind of symbol of the effort nationwide for women?
Not totally. I mean, I think we're much more, singularly focused. And I think we've really become a lightning rod and a voice for so many women around the country who deal with gender discrimination. So it's become something much bigger than what we intended.
Rapinoe is hopeful there will be traction for a new bill proposed by Democrats.
How does this new legislation, the Paycheck Equality Act, potentially change the landscape?
I mean, hopefully it can just provide some transparency and accountability. So often women are in positions, whether it's negotiating their salaries or asking for raises, where we have no idea what we're up against.
After the event on the Hill, President Biden extended an invitation to the White House.
What do you expect of his administration?
A magic wand and fix it all. No. Obviously, we have an ally at the very highest position in the federal government. Is amazing.
Stephanie Gosk, NBC News.
So if you heard that, they said they have kind of an ally with President Biden, which means things are kind of getting better, but it still has to progress at some point, which means there's still a lot of work to be done as far as women getting justice that they want. God. So, even though things are kind of getting to where they need to be, there's still a huge mountain to climb as far as where we need to be where we are and where we need to be. It's a really big gap. But moving on, there's another thing that I wanted to share. The NCAA women's basketball team and takes very little care of giving them, the women's basketball team, what they need as far as gym equipment, space, and it's basically similar to what I just said about Megan Rapinoe and the women's soccer team, and how it's progressing from where we need to be and where we are and where we need to be. It's like, it's what, 2021? And these kids are in college, so the fact that they should be getting double, maybe quadruple the amount of stuff that the people in the past have gotten. You know? So I want to share another clip from ESPN, and it shares the same clip. Well, not the same, but a clip of Chiney Ogwumike. If I get her name wrong, I'm sorry, but Chiney Ogwumike. I hope I pronounced that right. If I didn't, I'm sorry. Giving her perspective on the NCAA women's basketball team and how they're being basically treated as a whole, as far as their gym living during the pandemic.
Player, ESPN analyst Chiney Ogwumike. Today, I want to start off by showing a video from Sedona Prince from Oregon. She shared it on social media yesterday from the women's tourney site in San Antonio. Take a look.
I got something to show y'all. So for the NCAA March Madness, the biggest tournament in college basketball for women, this is our weight room. Let me show y'all the men's weight room. Now, when pictures of our weight room got released versus the men's, the NCAA came out with a statement saying that it wasn't money, it was space that was a problem. Let me show y'all something else. Here's our practice court, right? And then here's that weight room. And then here's all this extra space. If you aren't upset about this problem, then you're a part of it.
Amen, man.
So what I got from that video is they have all this space. It's pretty much built a women's gym. Well, a gym for the girl, or rather, ladies, whatever. And they just take no effort. They basically give them barbells. And it's not even like the 50-pound barbell. This is like, I want to say 5 pound, 5 to 10 pound. It's like who's gonna work out with that? Like, it would probably take me at least an hour to get half a decent workout. Like, who's gonna, who honestly is going to be able to get an effort with that? I find that insulting. Wow. Oh my God. But we're gonna move on. Let's see, what do I have next? What are we talking about next? Oh, here's an interesting one. Nike calls out a misprint on, get this, Elena Delle Donne's jersey. Like, you would think, like, with all the technology nowadays, like, we have, like, technology has gotten so advanced since, like, I don't know, the 80s. I'm just gonna say the 80s. Like, I wasn't born in the 80s, but I'm just gonna say the 80s. That it is ridiculous that we can't just say, or go to our phones and say Elena Delle Donne and literally get the right spelling of this woman's jersey. Like, how is it possible? The fact that you spelled this woman's name wrong is absolutely beyond me. That's like somebody spelling James at LeBron James' last name as Jemasas. How could, like, I want to go ahead and I have a clip for this too. I'm gonna play it and let you judge for yourself. This is actually the highlight of everything I've said so far. Because, like, the jersey is like the statement of these athletes' names. Like, they're literally wearing their names on their backs. But I'll move on and just play the thing.
WNBA teams appear to be getting some swanky new jerseys. But for some players, the fresh threads come at a price: a misspelled name on the back. Photos of new uniforms for Washington Mystics fans have been circulating on social media in recent days. Fans appear to have stumbled on the not-yet-released Nike Explorer Edition and Nike Rebel Edition WNBA jerseys for the DC-based squad at Dick's Sporting Goods. WinsideER's Aryeh Schwartz later confirmed that both threads were selling for $100 at a local store. Unfortunately, Washington's biggest star won't be able to fully relish the premature merchandise release. The new No. 11 uniforms honoring Mystics forward Elena Delle Donne, the two-time league MVP, six-time All-Star, and first WNBA player to join the elusive 504090 club, feature a big typo. Her last name is written as Delle Donne across the back of the jerseys, even though her surname is definitively not spelled with a hyphen. Here is how her name looks on her actual jersey. Elena Delle Donne, not Delle Donne. Rob Carr, Getty Images. What could have been an exciting moment for the WNBA and its athletes became yet another instance of disparate treatment between athletes on the men's and women's sides of sports. Delle Donne's Washington teammate, Natasha Cloud, took to Twitter to lament the mistake and defend her team's superstar, suggesting that, y'all would never see a mistake like that to a franchise player on the men's side. The extent of distribution of the jerseys with Delle Donne's name misspelled remains unclear. Regardless, there's no question that whoever was responsible for producing the threads should have double-checked the final product.
That is insane. Like, so if you caught that, it's pronounced Delle Donne, not Della hyphen.
It's 3 o'clock.
Donne. That crap is insane. Like when you put a name on your back, it's literally your name, your symbol, and your family's name. Like that carries. Like, this stuff matters. And so, it makes a difference. Like, every little detail. Like, say for example, Giannis, I'm probably going to mispronounce this, but Arekambo, or, like, they're going to make sure every single letter of his name is spelled correct. Like, Elena Delle Donne doesn't even have as many letters as he does. But, so the fact that they mispronounced her name is ridiculous. But I'm not gonna spend all day on this. Moving on to the last top subject of the day. The women of the USA gymnastics team and the turmoil that concerns the Larry Nassar scandal. What I can't figure out is how USA Gymnastics didn't know about this. Like, this man literally went years. Like, we're not talking months, days, we're talking years. Treating women like in their teens. Like, I don't know if, like, maybe USA Gymnastics knew about it and just chose to sweep it under the rug, or they just chose to totally ignore it altogether. Like, were you even thinking? But I'm gonna play the thing and let you all decide for yourself. And hopefully, when the next Olympics come around, it'll be way better. Cause, like, how do you not do a background check on your staff? Because I know when I worked at this baseball park, they did a complete background check on me. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and listen to it.
Hall of Fame, and governors appointed him to state.
There is now nowhere left for you to hide, Larry.
More than 160 women say Larry Nassar sexually abused them. It's one of the worst sexual abuse scandals in the history of sports. And it went on for more than 2 decades. How did he get away with it?
My real interest, of course, with dance and gymnastics is my role at USA Gymnastics.
Nassar had celebrity-like status in the elite gymnastics and sports medicine world. USA Gymnastics gave him countless awards, he was inducted into Michigan State University's Hall of Fame, and governors appointed him to state licensing boards. He even secured a patent for an ankle brace he invented. Nassar's patients felt honored to be treated by the best of the best. Nassar typically carried out his abuse under the guise of a medical treatment. He hijacked a rare pelvic therapy that involves vaginal penetration and used it to treat all sorts of ailments. He ignored protocols such as using a glove, asking consent, or having a medical chaperone present.
And when I was 14 years old, I tore my hamstring in my right leg. This was when he started performing the procedure that we're all now familiar with. The next visit was for my shoulder, which I then found out my hips were out of alignment, which then made my spine and my pelvic bone out of alignment as well. And this is when Larry decided that it was medically acceptable to violate a 16-year-old girl.
When confronted by parents, coaches, and eventually investigators, Nassar said patients may have misunderstood his therapy. Medical colleagues deferred to his expertise. After a 2014 investigation cleared his name, Nassar was just reminded to follow procedures. In the training camps of elite gymnastics, where coaches are notoriously hard on athletes, Nassar manipulated girls into believing he was a trusted friend, advocate, and even their protector.
You have to protect your athletes. You have to let them know that we care. You have to not let them know, but let them feel it. Let them understand it. Let them believe it.
He put my picture up on his wall with the Olympians. I thought it mattered to Larry.
You had me so wrapped around your finger, and I still trusted you so much. Even when I was a sophomore in college, and you were the only person I called to help me make the decision to end my gymnastics career due to my injuries.
Nassar won over family members by offering a free treatment, a quick diagnosis, or often the pretense of transparency.
At the end of an appointment in your basement, I remember asking, "Do I owe you anything? Now it seems kind of sick. You got what you wanted."
He frequently molested young girls with parents in the room, using a draped towel or practiced positioning to conceal where his fingers were massaging.
What kind of a person has the audacity to sexually assault a child in front of their mother?
It's still unclear who knew what when, but for decades, Nassar's employers focused on their reputations and failed to safeguard the young women in their care. When USA Gymnastics got a complaint about Nassar in 2016, the organization paid the gymnast $1.25 million to stop her from speaking about the abuse. Complaints about Nassar's treatments reached officials at Michigan State University as early as 1997, the Detroit News has reported. That's 20 years before the prize doctor was terminated. MSU has said that no one at the university believed that Nassar committed sexual abuse prior to the newspaper reports in the summer of 2016. Nassar's victims say that if the university had investigated the first complaint, scores of young girls may have escaped the doctor's abuse.
Larry Nassar did not arise in isolation. Rather, we saw the worst sexual assault scandal in history unfold because a predator was left in power for decades. Despite warning signs, despite red flags, despite direct reports of assault.
That is a huge pill to swallow. So, from what I just heard, and I hope you heard it too, USA Gymnastics knew about this in 2016? Yeah, 2016, which was the last 2016, which was the last Summer Olympics. So they knew he was up to no good and paid this girl to basically keep quiet for so long. So that means he harassing all kinds of gymnastics names, including Simone Biles, Aly Raisman, hell, even Nastia Luke. So with that said, I think these women deserve so much more because they are the best of the best. And they are so much more than what they're worth. So with that said, thank you all and God bless.